had tried a different approach to planning. 2 days of total immersion in Britain since the 1930s. No written work, just masses of input, videos, photographs and facts. The excerpts from their pre-planning day show the impact this has had on the quality of children's ideas and thinking.
You may now open the secret special folder on the table with all of the paperwork in it. Just somebody take all of the paperwork out, and there's a lot in there, but I'm going to explain it to you. You've now got in front of you a blank curriculum concept map. When we did Greentown, I made that concept map from your ideas. We actually don't have a concept map for this topic in Year 6 because it's been done year after year after year after year for like the last 20 years, and it's never been done. And I've left off the curriculum areas off of your map for a very specific reason. You are going to have a choice in your group on how you do this. What you can do, and I'd like it done in either of these two ways just to make my life a little bit easier. You can either just bombard the paper with all of your ideas and just get them down as many as possible and then think about which curriculum area they would come under, or you can write the curriculum areas on your sheet to start with and then do the ideas for activities under each. I'm now going to give you a big chunk of time, nearly an hour, and in that time I want every single possible idea on that paper for this topic. It doesn't matter how impossible you think it is to do, I want it there because you never know whether we're going to do it or not. Off you go. No. Nothing is off limits.
We could learn German.
Yeah, you could do a bit German.
Like tiny bit of German.
We could do paper art next, that'd be good.
Yeah. Make our own Berlin Wall out of shoeboxes. What about under each table we have pillows under this one and blankets under that one.
Yeah.
And we get into groups and the table's bigger and then each group could grab a pillow and then a blanket and then find an empty table kind of thing and then make a bed out of it and then there could be an air raid noise. And it could be an evacuation.
Yeah.
But not kind of thing. Get into the air raid shelter.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Mr. Blackwood could dress up like a warden.
Yeah, Mr. Blackwood could dress up as a
running in, he'll be like,
every day into your air raid. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Your activities are either all grouped in funny places because you've just thrown them on the paper, which is one of the things I said you can do. If you did do that, you now need to start thinking about putting it in curriculum areas. Those of you that have done it in curriculum areas, you now need to start thinking about what will link to what. So is there something you've got under science that also links to your DT? If there is, draw a line or do a box or highlight or something like that.
Just link music and ICT, the whole music subject and ICT. And we could use the headphones to make the music with ICT. These are different colour, otherwise it will get complicated. Music and ICT.
Pencils down, look this way. I would like you to swap your idea papers with another table, read through theirs, and they will read through yours. Okay? Just 5 or so minutes, off you go. Right. I've had my first piece of feedback from Lily. Lily, would you like to just tell everybody what you just told me from what you looked at?
Well, the group that we looked at, everything was based around the war, and because of the topic's called Britain since 1930, you didn't really get enough knowledge from all of the decades.
We've had a really important piece of feedback there which is going to change a lot of things. Now, if you don't want to do much on what happened after the war, then that's a decision that you need to make. But if you've got so engrossed in the war that you've forgotten about everything else, which is what I suspect might have happened, have you got enough of stuff that goes on after 1945?
At the back page, let's say, we could have famous people and prime ministers, and then all and then all the music, and then all the fashion, that. Yeah, and then that would also be linked to history.
Let's put it in history.
Yeah, so it'd be ICT English and History.
When this stage is finished and all the children have produced their activity sheets, I will then take them in, and when all of the duplication is taken out, I will decide in dialogue with the children which bits we can keep in and which bits we might need to slightly adapt. But again, that's a very collaborative process, as this all has been, and I will explain to the children the areas that I think we might need to add a little bit to. But I think flexibility when you work in this style is key. And although we will have a weekly plan and the children will have an understanding of what's going on week, one of the key things that we will do is to have on the display what's coming up in the week ahead and some areas. So the children, if they've got any other aspects that they want to look at or anything that they want to have added, they will be able to write on the display. You know, we've turned away from the days when, you know, you have to do this in this amount of time. The skills are there, the coverage is there. How we run it is a discussion between the children and I, but the most important part of that is maintaining their motivation, maintaining their interest and their excitement. I think it's very important when you get in that situation that you make a decision based on how the children feel and how you feel it is going. I wouldn't say that every single lesson is going to run over, but the worst thing that you can do is get to a point in a lesson where you think, actually, we've got to stop now and move on to English. If you lose that energy and that motivation, because that moment in time you can never recapture, and those moments are quite often the key golden moments. So where possible, if I thought it had educational value and the children were learning from it, I would always push on, because the other things can be rescheduled or rearranged, but that moment that you have in that lesson can never be rescheduled or rearranged.